value in affirmations, okay? Now, based on what you heard, so I told you I've been a business owner. I told you I was a real estate investor. I was in education 25 years. I was assistant principal in a school system. Based on all that information, would you say I'm a successful person? Drop it in the chat. Put yes, yeah, go ahead and drop it in the chat. Do you see that would consider, okay. Now, so I would agree that there's a level of success in that. However, this is based off of what we just learned with Miriam. I had internal battles because I was not quite as where I wanted to be. Okay. So you can be reaching certain levels of success and still feel like Demi Moore and like Miriam was saying, that you're not quite there. So you're always struggling with that. Your mind is always going against you. It's what Rosa was asking. Why does this happen? So what I realized is there was a disconnect between what I wanted to do and what was actually happening. And I started using affirmations. Before I get to that, I want to know, just put a number 1 in the chat if you have used affirmations. You read a book or you know about it or you use them or you've stated affirmations. Just put it in the chat. A 1. A 1 if you have used affirmation, know what affirmations are. Okay. Good. I see 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay. Now you're going to drop in the chat a 10 if you achieve that affirmation. 10 if you said the affirmation and boom, you got that 1, 2, 3, or 4 affirmations that you've done. 10. Put a 5 if halfway, if you went halfway through that affirmation. Okay. 1, you've done them. 5, almost. 10, you hit it. Awesome. I see that 10. I see that 5. Okay. Awesome. So we're going to talk about that. All right. Because we're going to talk about what an affirmation is. We go to the next slide there, right? We're going to see the value of affirmations and what it's done to my life. And I want to give you some tips on that. So Miriam, if you put the next slide on for me, please. So now, am I able to do it myself? No. Okay. So an affirmation is a positive statement. This is the way you write them. It has to be a positive statement. It has to be relevant to the person stating it. And it is written in the present tense. Okay. And for those of you that know, I'm an author of Affirm Yourself. It's a book about affirmations, but I've dealt with this because when I first started doing affirmations, I would just read them out. Like I would see a nice phrase and I just cut it and put it on my desk. Or I just say, oh, that's such a great, I am worthy. I had no idea what the heck worthy meant, right? I would put these things and I would just repeat them. But no, it has to be relevant to you. It really has to come from your core. It has to be written in the present tense. So for instance, and it has to be tied to a goal that you have. The goal should come before the affirmation. I was writing affirmations so they just sounded pretty and I wanted to be that. But I didn't, it wasn't aligning to the goal that I really, really wanted. So first of all, I'll give you an example, okay? My goal this year is to eliminate debts, like big debts, right? Like cars, like total big debts. So I want to eliminate debts. And I want to do this through recruiting. Why is that? Because now I am in different organizations where I need to bring members in. I need to do it for my business. It's like 3 or 4 different things that it all comes down to that. I have to attract people to me, right? So my newest affirmation, because I have like a list and my book talks about some that I still do, but my newest affirmation is I am a magnet for influential, well-connected, and driven individuals. I am a magnet for this, right? So that is because I have a goal now. I want to eliminate debt. There's a certain number that I have to eliminate. And in order to do that, I need to do this. So I'm going to say that to myself. All right. So that is a positive present tense, and it has to be relevant to you, not because you saw it on a wall, not because the book tells you to do it. Next slide. Now, why are they valuable? Why do people do them? It's because this is what Miriam was tapping on is, well, before I say why, go ahead and drop your reason. Why do you think we need to use affirmations? For those of you that dropped the 1 and have obviously you tried it, why did you do it? Reframe your thoughts. There you go. Keep yourself focused, set goals. Good. All right. So yes, it's all of that. basically, when you make these statements, by the way, my affirmations, I write them out daily. I have a daily, we're going to talk about morning routines later, but I have books and books of these where every day I write my goals. Okay. I have a whole ritual every morning. Now, some of you know I'm at the gym at 5 a.m. in the morning. That's part of the routine we'll talk about later, but I have to shape my thoughts. Why? Because I have to break a lot of things that I've been told that I would tell myself growing up, whether it's through the influences. Miriam already talked to us about that. So you have to reprogram our thoughts. Years of disbelief, abuse, and more things. I'm not going to get into that. Miriam did that already. And also because there's a law of assumption, just learned from a coach recently, what you believe becomes a fact. So if you wake up and you think, I'm broke, what's going to happen? You're going to live a life of like, I'm always lacking, right? And we had to change that. I'm overweight. I'm not capable. All these things are in our mind. So we have to, when you affirm, when you write it down, what happens is the reticular, hold on, reticular, it's a system. I didn't write it down. Activating system, the reticular activating system, which is what Miriam was saying, grabs that, which is your subconscious, and starts telling your conscience that you are that. Because the conscience is just looking at what's happening. It's your motion, it's what you're doing, it's your thoughts right at that time. But it comes through the emotions. That's the strongest part of what we do. Believe it. If you are fearful because you keep telling yourself you can't do it, when you go to that interview or when you're going to try and close that sale, it's not going to happen because that emotion is telling you that you can't do it. And that's why we have to break that, because our subconscious is more powerful than the conscious mind. So that's why every day affirming it, I write them out. My affirmations, I write them out. I have them on my phone in pictures so that I can say them wherever I'm at. I don't miss it. I write them and I say them out loud with suggestions, with auto suggestion. That's a whole different topic that you can read about, find out. So the next point, and I think I'm coming to the end, I want to give enough time to my friend here. If you have any questions, you'll be able to reach me if you want to talk more about affirmations or get the book. Okay. So now we're going to talk about why it's important to do them in the morning, why we should do affirmations in the morning. Mental well-being, top leaders use it, and it's proven statistically. Okay, I'm going to give you some stats here. 92% of highly performing people, not just average, I'm talking about highly performing people, have some kind of structured morning routine. You read the top books and they all say you should have morning routines. Okay. Morning routine habits can boost productivity by up to 20%. This is a Harvard Business Research. 22% lower stress level, Forbes magazine. Okay, when you have morning routines. 35% more likely to exercise, Journal of Health Psychology. 20% more fat loss compared to those that work out during the day, the British Journal of Sports Medicine. And there's more. I just picked a few. In every category, it's going to tell you why. Now, drop in the chat if you know what a morning routine. Drop in the chat what a morning routine is for you. Maybe some of you already have a few morning routines. If you have one, okay, coffee and reading, okay. What else? What else do we have out there? Anyone exercise in the morning? You do meditation, okay, exercise, love it. Yes, Rosie, I've seen you out there. Go to the gym, yes, okay. Bible, take out doggy, okay. Perfect. So there's a lot out there that you can find. My morning is, we've been blessed to be presented to a coach, and they gave us millionaire morning for millionaires, right? And these are people that are 6-figure earners or more, actually 7-figure earners or more only. This coaching, we had access to this, and it's powerful. It's literally 7 things that we do throughout the day. Auto suggestion, your affirmations, setting your goal, exercising, meditating. Anyway, it's amazing. That's not the talk's not about that. What I want you to know is that if you incorporate affirmations daily, you start your day and you find time to affirm yourself, whatever goal you have, and you every day write it out. I am this, this, this. I am. But then you have action plan with that. So you're going to state whatever goal you have in a positive, relevant, and present tense form. You're going to write down one action step to get closer to that goal. Just one. Don't go crazy and do 10. Try and stick to one. And then share it with an accountability partner, because if the accountability is what's going to help you stay true to that, right? People know what your goals are, and you'll have success. So that's my part of it, guys. If you want to reach out, I'm going to put it in the chat. Just go to elsiemendez.org. If you want to connect with me, find out more about the book. we will be starting workshops later on this year. But guys, thank you so much. And now I want to introduce to you, if you have questions, drop it in the chat. I'll contact you later. I want to give time to our next presenter, which great friend. I've made this last year, end of last year. Miss Ariel Faith is amazing, branding, photography, and she's going to tell you how that our value is so intertwined with that topic. So now, with no further ado, I'd like to introduce Miss Ariel Faith.
Oh, hello.